I'm Bruce Schneier. I teach cybersecurity policy here at the Harvard Kennedy School. I've been thinking a lot about AI and democracy. Just published a book on how AI will transform democracies around the world. And I want to talk about four different examples of AIs and humans working together in ways that to make democracy better. So, my first example is from Japan. This is Takahiro Ano, who was a software engineer who ran for mayor of Tokyo. And he came in fifth out of a field of 50. He was a political nobody. And he got his support by having a deep fake avatar on YouTube that answered questions from voters. And this is a way he engaged with his voters and got them to support him. This would be an interesting footnote, except that last year he was elected to Japan's upper house. He has a new political party, Team Mirai, Team Future, and he's building AI tools to allow him to talk to his constituents, find out their concerns, and figure out what legislation to support. It's a really interesting example of AI allowing a politician to talk to voters at a scale that they couldn't do as humans. Second example is from France. So many people have been experimenting with having AIs write legislation. The French government was the first country to create an AI model specifically for legislators, trained on French law and able to write French law. And the idea is that the legislators use this AI as an assistant. The laws are drafted, reviewed by humans, changed by humans, and then go into the human process of debate and amendment and eventual voting. Other countries are experimenting with this as well. My third example is from China. So there's work being done on having AIs assist with regulatory compliance. The idea being that there's a lot of regulations, a lot of documentation, and there aren't enough humans to review it all. So in this example, China is looking at environmental plants and their compliance documents. The AI isn't evaluating them, isn't issuing fines. The AI is doing a first pass looking for anomalies. What the AI suggests are plants that are likely to fail physical inspections. So here the AI does the first level of triage, then the humans go do the actual work to analyze sort of what's going on. My fourth example comes from Brazil. So Brazil is a very litigious society. There's a lot of people suing a lot of people suing the government. And for a couple of years, the Brazilian courts have experimented with using AI, not for judging, not for adjudication, but to do the mechanics of the court, to assign prosecutors to cases, to assign judges to cases, to track casework. And if you look at the chart, the courts are closing cases much quicker. So AI is helping resolve these court cases. On the other hand, they're finding that attorneys are using AI to write briefs and are thereby filing more lawsuits. Interesting example of an arms race where both sides are using AI. Here, I think this is good. I think the court system is part of a democracy. And if a system can process and resolve more court cases and more court cases faster, that is inherently better for democracy. My last case comes from the United States. So this is an organization called Cal Matters. Cal Matters is a California watchdog organization that pays attention to California politicians. And what it does is it records every public utterance of a politician, every floor speech, every campaign email, every tweet, everything, along with their voting record and who gives them political contributions. And citizens can go to this site and look up politicians and see what they're saying and who's supporting them. Last year, they added an AI feature to this. It's called Tip Sheet. And this is a feature not available to us. It's available just to journalists. What the AI does is look through all this data and looks for anomalies, things that it thinks are weird. Doesn't publish them, doesn't accuse politicians. It makes the data available for journalists who can look through this tip sheet and decide if a case is worth investigating and writing about. So here again, The AI is assisting at a first triage step into a very human process of journalism. So when you think about using AI for these sorts of applications, there are four things to keep in mind. The first is accuracy. Right? Is the AI accurate enough for whatever the application is? In a lot of these cases, accuracy doesn't have to be perfect because it's always a first step into a human process. Some applications of AI, the accuracy matters a lot. If it's driving a car, we really do care when it gets it wrong. If it's feeding into a human process of bill drafting, it's okay if it makes mistakes. An intern's going to make mistakes. The second is security. Right? Has anyone hacked the system? As these systems get used in more critical situations, there are groups that are going to want to affect their outcome. So imagine an AI in a trade negotiation. It's giving advice to some trade negotiator. The other side is going to want to hack the AI, and that first side isn't going to trust the AI unless they know it hasn't been hacked. And that gets to the third point, trust. Is the system trusted? And importantly, who gets to decide? So if you think about an AI being used by a politician or by a legislator, only they have to trust it. No one else matters. And they're probably going to choose a biased AI, just like they choose biased human staff. But if the AI is used in some broad government application, think of it being used to decide which environmental plants to audit. In that case, society more broadly has to trust it. So the trust matters a lot here. And finally, power. Does the AI application concentrate or diffuse power? That is, does it make the already powerful even more powerful, or does it make the less powerful more powerful? So imagine AI being used by an attorney. Right? If it makes the already wealthy, powerful attorneys better, that's bad. If it makes the average attorney better, that's good, right? That increases access to justice. And you'll see different ways AI does that in different applications. So when you think about making AI more democratic or more beneficial for democracy, I have four pieces of advice, and these are from my book. The first is to reform the ecosystem, that we need to take the AI industry and make them more equitable, more trustworthy, right? The products themselves, the companies themselves. The second is to resist harmful uses of AI in government, and there are a lot of them, examples from the US and elsewhere, where AI is being used to fire people, to replace people, where it's not suitable for the task. At the same time, we need to responsibly use AI where it makes governments better. And there are a lot of places it does. An easy one is language translation. And right now, there's no excuse not to offer every government service in every language of a country. And finally, to renovate democracy for AI. A lot of the impact of AI on democracy isn't a problem of AI, it's a problem of democracy that AI exacerbates. So the more we can make democracy better, more resilient, the more we can make it a place where AI will improve it rather than harm it.